Well, good morning, happy gardeners. This is Ed with the First Time Gardener back at you today for a short video. Today's video, I'm going to show you some things that I have growing in my grow trays that we're going to be planting for the first time that I've ever grown these. And I wanted to show you what we're going to be growing this year in the garden for the first time and show you how they're coming along. Some of these we'll be showing you how to plant, but I wanted to take you through because we've got quite a few new things we're growing this year. So let's go down there. I'm going to talk about them a little bit and show you what we're growing for the first time in the First Time Gardener's garden. Okay, so for our first one that we haven't grown before are Lima beans. So we are going to try some Lima beans. Well, we didn't have much germination today. We only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 plants that survived. One here was coming up, it died. So we're going to probably just take the best of those two, and I think I'm going to try growing those in some buckets. I haven't made up my mind yet. If I have room in the garden, I might put one in a bucket and one in the garden, but we'll have to see on that end. The next thing that's new to the garden this year is jalapeno peppers. So we're growing jalapeno peppers. They're coming up. Now these I grew from seed, from a jalapeno seeds that I saved last year when we made jalapeno poppers. And I didn't get very good germination, but we did get some come up. So those are going to be going in the garden this year. So that was something, another new thing that we're growing. And then our next new thing that we are growing is black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas. Now they had a good harvest, a good germination. We've got every one of them. Yeah, even that one came up. So we had every one that we planted coming up, and we're going to be doing those, I believe, in buckets as well. I might have a spot in the garden to put those, and again with those we might do some in the buckets and some in the ground. Since I'm growing it for the first time, that'll give me a good idea of by the time we harvest which did better and which is more productive for me, and the ease of growing it, whether it's going to be in a bucket or in the garden. Okay, so let's come down. Our next thing that we're growing for the first time are beets. So they're red beets, and the germination on those have really done well. We got almost 100% germination. They're still a little ways out from being transplanted. These here, the black-eyed peas, they are just starting to get a couple true leaves on there, so they'll be ready in the next 2 or 3 weeks to transplant into a bucket or the garden, whichever we're going to do. And then our next thing that we're growing for the first time, and this is definitely going to grow in buckets, is kohlrabi. I've always been interested in how to grow it and what it tastes like, so this year I decided that we're going to grow some. Now I did start some in these 3 buckets here, and they did germinate and they did come up, but for whatever reason they all died back. So I planted some right here in this one row right here is kohlrabi. Now this is the white or green kohlrabi. The kohlrabis are white in the center, but they're called green, or they grow green on the outside. So that's what we're growing. There's 2 varieties. Well, there might be more than 2 varieties. The 2 that I know are purple and green. So we're going to grow the green. And I watched other videos. When you grow the purple, I think it's just more or less for having a different color or different view in the garden, because the inside, once you peel the purple off, is the same as the green, and I hear it tastes the same. there's really no difference other than when it grows. One grows purplish and one grows green, but they both kind of feed the same. And so the next thing we are growing, and I'm going to try, is buttercup squash. Now we have yellow squash and zucchini squash, and I've grown both of these already with no luck. So even though we are growing these again, it'll be hopefully the first time that we get a good harvest of fruit, vegetables. But these here are buttercup squash, and they're kind of the squatty squash. They look like a pumpkin squash. They're green. If you ever heard of calabaza squash, these are similar to the calabaza squash. They're just but the size difference is way smaller than calabaza. Calabaza can get huge. These are sort of, I call them a pan squash. They go round, but they're thin, and they taste a lot like kohlrabi. I mean, they taste a lot like calabaza squash if you like that. This is something you can grow, and they don't grow as large, and they taste pretty much the same. And then the next thing we are growing in our garden for the first time is an herb, and we have a salad that we make that we use a lot of dill. So I'm growing fresh dill for the first time, and I just watered these, so they're kind of laying over. They got hit with the water a little bit, but as soon as the sun comes up and they get a little drink from the water I put in there, they'll be standing straight up. But they're looking good. They got all their true leaves on. They're getting big. They're probably another week away from planting, and we're going to grow those in containers as well. See how that goes. So, and then the other thing we're growing is, I already have them in the ground, and I wanted that to we grew green beans last year, but I wanted something to go with the green beans, so we are growing yellow beans, yellow green beans. That's going to be right here. And I started these a long time ago, so we transplanted these. They're not doing too good yet. None of the things that I've put in my garden are doing too good yet, because we've had a really long cold spell, chilly weather throughout our spring, which I'm not complaining about. It's better than being in the 90s. But these seedlings and stuff have been taking a lot longer to get going. The growth has been stunted by the cold weather we've been getting. So hopefully that's going to turn around really quick, and we're going to start getting a little warmer. It'd be nice to have in the low to mid 70s during the day with a lot of sunshine, and the garden will just pop really well. So let me see what else we're growing. We are growing some peppers. Even though I have grown some bell peppers before, we are growing green, yellow, red, and orange bell peppers. And I already have put some peppers in the ground here. We're letting them get up a little taller, and then we're going to cage them over there. This one here, I think, has died. It's either died or it needed some water, so I just watered it. We're going to see by this afternoon if this perks up a little bit. If not, I have more already in my seed trays that I can replant that one with. And here's another one. These are the orange ones. And then I have that's one of the jalapenos. I have more jalapenos I'm going to be planting, but that was the first one I planted. I'm just waiting. I'm probably going to pick this broccoli head today. I've got two. I've got one there, one over there. So I'll pick that today, and then I'll be probably planting 4 of the jalapeno peppers right there. And the other thing I'm growing this year for the first time is garlic. I planted garlic. I got 3 of them going there, and I put this one in several months ago when I planted the onions. So it's doing pretty good. I don't know if it's a soft neck or a hard neck, or well, I know it's not an elephant garlic because the seed wasn't that big, but I got this from the grocery store. There's one left over. I just put it in the ground to see what happened, and that's what's growing. And these are the same. These 3 here are the same seeds that I grew the other one from. So they're popping up and doing well, so we'll see what happens. I know everybody says you can't grow garlic in Florida because of the heat. They say the elephant garlic is probably the best brand to grow if you're going to grow one, but we'll see. Hopefully, if nothing else, they'll grow a big enough stalk we can chop that up and put it in our food, and we might not get the bulb, but we'll get more like a leek out of it, and we can still use those for cooking. All right, so I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments of something that you're growing for the first time in your garden, put them in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys are growing for the first time in your garden. And of course, we're going to have an update throughout the year as the growing process goes on, and let you know what's doing good, what's not doing so good, and yeah, just follow along and see how things are going. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and please share our videos if you think somebody else that you know would be interested in my content. Share our videos with them. Give us a thumbs up for this video if you would. It really helps us out. And by all means, take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.